Alright, this is opening video on the Queen's Gambit. Not the show. The chess opening. D4, D5, C4. This is the Queen's Gambit. There are a few responses for black here. I think the most common are the Slav defense with C6, semi-Slav with E6, and taking this pawn. If they take the pawn, then you can push here. Now you have a giant center, two pawns in center, and now the bishop is immediately attacking this pawn. That is what you get out of that. And usually, if they try to defend it, you have a few options here. A, you can just keep developing. For example, here, already attack this pawn, they should spend another move defending it. And you can get a huge lead in development, have a huge center, then you can attack it later with, I don't know, let's say they defend it, with a move like, A4. And if they take it, then A, 4 isolated pawns, 2 sets of doubled pawns. It's very bad. These pawns will be incredibly weak. And you can already, in fact, take 2 of them. You can take this pawn 3 different ways. Rook, knight. But usually you'll just take here, develop the bishop. You have a lead in development. These pawns are really weak, and you'll be very good. Very rarely do you see people take, though. And here's the thing here. If they try to defend this pawn by playing A6, that's what that is, you can still take. If they take, then you can take here. This is a theme if they try to defend this pawn, that this pawn is pinned to the rook. If they take it, goodbye rook, and you win the game. You better win the game. You are very winning in that case. So, defending the pawn usually isn't the greatest move, but there are some situations in which you can do it successfully. Other things, generally, they might just try to go, I've seen it for some reason, an absurd amount of here. I mean, it makes sense, gets out the bishop, you know, it's a regular move, puts a pawn in the center, but also blocks in this bishop. It's definitely not a bad move. Then you just grab the pawn and continue developing. Also good, blocks out this bishop, which might be important in the future. You can also, I guess you can't really develop this bishop anywhere, that's why they do that. Okay, I never really thought about that move before. Usually you don't want to put out the knight immediately, because it'll just be attacked by a pawn, and you'll win a tempo. You'll have to move the knight twice. Usually let's play a move like this. You can capture, they'll develop, they'll check here, block the knight, block the bishop. You can do whatever, then you play a normal game of chess. If they don't take the pawn, they go e6. Usually you just do nothing. You keep developing like it's a normal game of chess. Knights, bishops, you know how chess works. And you don't really want to take the pawn. There's no point in taking the pawn, because they never want to take you either, really. Because then you do the same idea, second pawn in the center. You just develop like a normal person. They develop like a normal person. Knight's out. They'll maybe push here at some point once the bishop is out, so that this bishop can come out here especially. I guess the one thing you sort of have to worry about is if you bring your bishop out early, it can go here sometimes, here, let's say, and here. But that's not bad. You just have to, I mean, you've sort of blocked out your own bishop. It can be tricky. You just have to defend it, like this or something. I don't know. Computer doesn't really like that, but that way if takes, they can't win a pawn. And also, just want to mention something. It's not really useful to double the pawns here, because they'll either have to take or you can take, and then you've already gotten rid of the doubled pawns. They've given up a bishop for a knight. This bishop's better than this knight. The knight can't even move. There's no reason to do that. Sometimes you want to bait them into taking the knight, but the doubled pawns are completely useless in this position. The last is here. You basically treat it the same way. They blocked out this bishop a bit earlier, which can be an issue. Treat it exactly like this Slav, the semi-Slav, otherwise. Yeah, I think in regards to, once you get to this position, those are the 3 main moves. You might occasionally see maybe knight here guarding the pawn. I don't actually know what to do. And very rarely you will see this, the album counter gambit. I'm not talking about that because you will never see it. And if you do see it, I'm not going to talk about it anyway because this is my opening. And I don't want to teach you guys how to defend me. Oh, I think that's it. If I think of anything else, I'll just jump cut and pretend that was intentional. Would like to issue a quick disclaimer. I'm not actually that great at chess, so if you want a better tutorial on the Queen's Gambit, go watch like Gotham Chess has a video on it. Yeah, but enjoy.